Hi everyone, it's Donna from Little Spaceman Papercrafts, and today I am bringing you a mini album tutorial. This is the first part of it. This is going to be the outer cover, and then I'll go on to the binding in my next video, and then I'll go on to the page assembly after that, and then the final video will be putting the whole thing together. So firstly, you need to decide what size you want your album to be. Now I've decided I want mine 7 by 7 because I want my pages 6 by 6. So you need to cut down your chipboard. Now this is just this is actually quite heavyweight chipboard actually, and I cut these down using my Fiskars paper trimmer, which you can do. Find your measurement and cut up, and then flip it over and then cut, and it cuts straight through. So I've done my back and my front cover at 7 by 7, and then you need to decide what size you want your spine. Now depending on how thick you want your book or how many embellishments you're putting in it, that would really then determine the size of your spine. I've decided that mine's going to be 3 inches. So I cut another piece of chipboard that is 3 inches by 7. Okay, so that's the covers cut. Then what I've done is I've picked my paper for the covers, and this is going to be the cover. Now I'm making this album for a very good friend of mine, so I won't be uploading this video until I know that he's actually received it. It's going to be quite masculine, which is this is going to be the first masculine album I've done. I've never done a masculine album before, and sorry, I've got a paper cut, typical. So yeah, this is going to be a bit of a challenge for me as well, so I really hope he likes it. So anyway, so these are my covers, and what I've done is that's the back and that's going to be the front. So let's go that way. I've put 2 strips of red line tape, and this is the bit that's going to be my spine. Now it is obviously bigger, if you look, it is obviously cut bigger, but we need it to be cut that bit bigger so we can wrap around the pages. So it doesn't really matter what the back of this is going to look like when it's done, because I've actually made another piece to cover that, but I'll go through that with you after. So what I need to do is peel off this red line tape. I have flattened it all down with my bone folder, so I hope that helps loosen it a little bit. So I'm just going to stick this piece to there, and then I'm going to stick this side to there. So as I say, it doesn't matter what this looks like at all. Actually I might use my brayer just to make sure that that's firmly down. As I said, it doesn't matter what this looks like, and as you can see here, it's not 100% straight, which is fine, because as you make your album, so that's going to be what the cover's like, we have a section to go over that. So now what we need to do is work out if we need to cut this down. And what you want to do is when you put your piece in the middle, you need to make sure that it's going to come right over that spine, because what you don't want is the join either side of that spine. So either have it in the middle or have it so you've got more coverage on that side. And you also, again with these pieces, you don't want them there on the edge, because that will force that edge. So you want to bring them over. So I don't think we're too bad. Now what you need to do when lining this up is roughly leave roughly leave about, what'd that be, that's probably going to be about 1/8 of an inch, because then that gives your book room to fold. Okay. Right, so as we set that down, you line up so you've got that little gap in the middle. Okay, now what we need to do is, actually I'm going to trim these sides down just a little bit. I'm just going to take my ruler and craft knife and just take a little bit off there. Okay. Right then, so now we need to stick this down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put tape all the way around the outside. Okay. Excuse me. Right, so that's the outer bit done. Now I need to make sure that I can stick these down, so what I'm going to use is I'm going to use some of this Collall tacky glue, and this is actually going to stick the chipboard to the pages. Oops. And with using wet glue, it gives you that little bit of wiggle room. To get it nice and straight and in the right position. Then you do the same with your outer covers. Remember to leave that roughly about a 1/8 of an inch gap. Okay, and this does not take very long to dry. So now what we need to do is try and mould our paper up so it will fold easily. So we'll do that. If you need to, you can run your bone folder down, and that just helps with the creasing. And so you do that on all sides. And the same with the tops and bottoms. Okay. Now we need to miter the corners, so because I haven't left very much here, I don't need to cut that much off. You just need to leave a little bit at the corner like that when you miter it off. I never get these right, and it's just something that, you know, is trial and error. Sometimes it works for me, sometimes it doesn't. Hopefully you'll have better luck than I do, but yeah, I always get one corner that doesn't seem to want to go properly, but we'll see. Okay, forever the eternal optimist I am. So let's start peeling up our tape. Now what you want to do is try and get the middle first. So if you push the middle down and then fold the sides, pushing up as you go. Do this side. And then the same thing this side. And then the smaller sides. See, this corner is not mited correctly at all, look. But that's fine. You know, sometimes you just can't be perfect, and you can't get hung up on trying to be perfect. You know, handmade is just that, it's handmade. See, again, it's that side as well. But that's fine. I mean, we can cover most of that anyway, so it's absolutely fine. Now, what you need to do to make sure your book or album folds is gently push in the creases and get your book to bend up. Same on this side. And if you use a good quality paper or cardstock to cover, then it should be okay, it shouldn't tear. Or if you've just got plain cardstock, you can cover it with that and then use your decorative papers. So that's how our album has gone together so far. Now, this doesn't look very good, I don't think. And we could make it look nicer. Now what I've done is, I've cut a piece of black cardstock to size, and I've used a border punch. And what I did was I cut this one, because I know my spine's 3 inches, so I cut this one at 6 inches and scored in at 1.5 inches to give me a 3-inch panel so I could do my border punching. So I did that, and I thought that might give it a nice decorative edge. So we will secure that on. I think I'm actually going to use wet glue for that. Just because we might need a little bit of wiggle room, because it is an exact cut on the length, so, and it's easier to get up into these little scallop folds here, or scallop edges rather. And this glue is phenomenal actually. You can, this glue I got from Gareth at G's Embellishment Emporium, and it sticks everything, metal, wood, it's just brilliant. So let's attach this on. So there is the cover of our masculine album. So you can have it that way or that way, it doesn't really make much of a difference really. So that is our outer cover. Now for the inside we need to cover here. Now what I'm going to do is my binding I'm going to make in this black cardstock, so I'm just going to cover, I'm going to measure and I'm going to cover exactly, so I don't want to overlap this bit this time. So because I messed up a little bit, I'm going to have to go probably 6, 6 6/8, I think, by about the same. So I'm just going to cut those pieces and I will be right back. Okay, I've cut all the pieces down, ready to stick on the inside covers. So I'm going to do that now. Again, I'm going to use the Collall tacky glue. This glue is great, it just gives you that couple of seconds to make sure you're in the right position. Okay, we'll do the same thing with the inside covers now, and it just finishes it off, it gives it a nice clean look then. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just get my brayer again and just make sure that that's stuck down really well. Okay, so there is the outer and inner cover of our mini album. The next part of this is going to be the binding, so do pop back and check out part 2 if you want to see how the binding's done. Thanks a lot guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye!